It's for that little girl that I had dreams of being where I am, and to actually see it come to fruition, like, it's so surreal. It's been so fun. How can I mentor now the next generation of what I've learned and what I wish I would have learned faster? When I leave the sport, I hope that every interaction that someone has had with me, that they felt that I've tried to leave it better than I found it.
Two days ago, Jordan Larson, the most decorated volleyball Olympian in U.S. history, announced that this, her 18th professional season, would be her final year. Today, the Nebraska native and her Love Nebraska teammates play their home opener against Love Houston.
Hands in the air, everybody stop and stare when I walk by. No, I don't care. Ain't nobody stopping me till I get my no. Best of the best. Everybody east to west will know my name. Hashtag blessed. I got the gold, yeah, I already won this game. Hey, hey, yeah, I got what it takes. Hey, hey, yeah, I got what it takes. I don't mess with no fake. Shake it up like an earthquake. I'll keep it real, cause I got what it takes.
Baxter Arena in Omaha, Nebraska. This state is one of the USA's volleyball hotbeds, and Jordan Larson has played a major role in that. Today, Love Nebraska opens their second season at home against Love Houston. Both teams are seeking their first win after starting 0-1. Hi, everybody. Along with U.S. Olympian Kevin Wong, I'm Rich Burke. Let the Jordan Larson retirement tour begin.
It's truly amazing, right? The GOAT, been to the top of the mountain, traveled all over the world representing the USA. And yet here she is in this farewell tour, and it's about gratitude, it's about humility, and it's about legacy.
She's going to pass the torch to people like Kimberly Drevniak, who had 25 kills in Nebraska's first match.
Coming in hot, best match of her short Love career, brought prolific offense combined with high efficiency. All that work she put in the offseason really paying early dividends in 2026.
Did it ever. The Nebraska starting lineup presented by Adidas. Drevniak, under head coach Susie Fritz, will be joined by Ann Bausch getting her first start at outside hitter, and Ana Catalina da Silva her first start at middle blocker. Laura Dykema is the setter. Houston opposite Jordan Thompson is simply one of the best players in the world.
2025, she was Love's opposite of the year, brings a blend of grace, of power, of fast twitch that is so special. In the first match for Houston, Thompson was their bright spot. She needs to shine the way bright for her team here tonight.
Also brings a lot of personality, and you could see it there under head coach Sanya Tomasevic. More about her in a little bit. Kaisa Alanko getting her second consecutive start at setter. With Micah Hancock, the U.S. Olympian, still out with a neck injury. She may play a little bit. Rafaela Foley at middle blocker was questionable with a groin injury suffered in their first match, but she is in there to start. The home opener for Love Nebraska, and we are set to get rolling. And Alanko will send it away. Best of 5 sets. First 4 sets to 25. Of course, have to win by 2. And the 5th set, if necessary, to 15. And Drevniak picks up where she left off in their first match. "25 kills for Drevniak in their first match, which tied for the third most in league history after a 28-kill performance by Annie Drew Schumacher and a 26-kill performance by Drew Schumacher last year.
I think really early on, 2 interesting storylines, and they're about player availability. Micah Hancock missing, so how does Alanko come out in that setter role for Houston? On the other side, Justine Wong-Arantes not coming in and not available at the libero position. Who can step up for the young team?
Justine Wong-Arantes, her husband Andrew, expecting their first child in March. So rejection there by Foley. And immediately, Nebraska keeps their run going.
Drevniak bringing the power in the first game. Some of the scouting report, and this is from the ownership groups. The Houston Texans bought the Love franchise. Just like in football, blocking and passing, really big keys, and not something Houston did well in the first match.
Scouting report presented by Chase. 3-0 Nebraska. And that one too strong from Thader. And Houston is on the board.
Out of system going to be really key for both teams as well. How do you deal with situations where the pass and the set aren't perfect, but still big expectations coming out from your team?
Maddie Kingdon-Rischel, veteran. And Bausch with her first kill. Bausch, the two-time Olympian from the Netherlands on the Dutch national team, 2008 to 2024. Very experienced, and Susie Fritz says she is an excellent decision maker. That pass from Merzick, a little bit beyond the 10-foot line, but still Thompson able to put it away down the line. Side out, Houston.
So efficient, so smart, has that really nice blend. Gets off the ground quick arm swing, but able to get up high.
Last year in the first year of Love, she had 20 or more kills 6 times. 4 times were against Love, Nebraska. Service error makes it 5-2 Nebraska.
You know, both teams coming off losses in their first match. Very different looks, though. Nebraska at times looked really, really good. On the other side for Houston, just did not come out sharp at all.
And Igidi with a kill, thundering one off of Drevniak. That had some heat on it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any player in Love whose stock has gone up further in their first season. Igidi being mentioned as one of the great up-and-coming middles, not just in the U.S., but in the world.
Played for the USA, Volleyball Nations League, and the World Championships during last summer.
Our first look at Carol.
Ana Carolina da Silva out of Brazil. And she'll go back and serve. Didn't play Wednesday, turned her ankle in practice. Past couple of years with famed Scandici in Italy, one of the better teams in the world. Thompson out of the back row. Drevniak went for high hands, didn't get him, and too long. Oh, did she get him? Yeah, she got the touch. And Tomasevic going to challenge.
Oh, that didn't even look close to me.
Yep, she's challenging.
We had a nice talk with Sonia Tomasevic right before the match. Has been at the highest levels. Vakif Bank in Turkey for the last couple of years as an assistant coach.
Yeah, under Giovanni Guidetto, who's been there for nearly 2 decades. One of the better club coaches in the entire world. And she said that she learned from him, don't overcomplicate things. Treat people with kindness and honesty. Tomasevic, former head coach at Arizona State, 2017 to 2022. Vakif Bank last year won the Turkish League, went to the Final Four in the Champions League, so she knows what she's doing. It's a little bit longer than these challenges usually take with the 40 cameras on site and the Hawkeye technology. Was there a touch on the attack by Drevniak? Have a look at it here.
Yeah, that's the right call.
Yeah.
Just a miss-hit ball. You can see not a lot of topspin. Hit a little bit lower on the ball than she would have liked to, and it floated long.
A good challenge issued by Houston. Call goes their way. And Jess Merzick will serve, the second-year professional out of Penn State. Nebraska fans got to see her in their nightmares, huh?
Right.
Swing by Larson. Dug by Merzick. Kingdon-Rischel whisked away. Diving dig. What a dig by Rodriguez. Likewise dig by Brasino. Swing by Thompson going back line and went long.
Couple of young liberos here early. They're looking good, looking sharp. Some good digs, some good patience. Tomasevic talking about her libero, Brasino, saying she is owning the practice court, just needs to now deal with the bright lights out here in the main gym.
We'll see how she does. Merzick, decent pass on the 10-foot line, still results in basically a free ball. Dykema, Larson against the block of Igidi. 7-5 Nebraska, and Igidi will go back and serve. Baton Rouge, Louisiana native. Played for Robin Amo at Hawaii. overseas in Italy. 25th birthday was Thursday, the night of the opening match. Drevniak with that strong left arm, and Igiti couldn't dig it. Side out Nebraska.
Yeah, Igiti actually spent time earlier this fall with Novara and put up big numbers in a short stint in the A1 Italian League.
And now there she is, the greatest of all time, going to the service line for the first time in the home opener, starting the retirement tour. Jordan Larson off the block of Thader. And down. Emily Thader coming up with a rejection.
Bausch on the left side as well. And we, talking to Susie Fritz, talked about how much length Bausch brings at the net.
Brings a lot of experience as well. Kingdon Rischel went off speed. Maddie Kingdon Rischel finds a lot of ways to get it done. Phoenix native, played for Dave Rubio at Arizona. There's Maddie Kingdon, 2011 to 2014. Covered her a lot during those years. It's hard to believe it's been that long ago. Dykema teeing up Thader, sent back in her face by Rafa Foley. There's one of the best middle blockers in the world right there.
We've got some royal middle blockers here. This is a special match. Foley, Tokyo Olympian, tons of success. Two-time world champion, has been to the top of the mountain.
Best middle blocker, 23-24 Champions League with Vero Volley Milan. Thader went wide.
And Thader's so much better when she's running behind the setter off of one leg, here being asked to do the more pedestrian duty of jumping up and down.
Interesting to be better off one foot. Off speed, good. Pancake there by Kaisa Alanko, the setter. Drevniak went wrist away, hard angle attack, and went long.
And you can see the Nebraska players asking for 4 touches on that play. Take a look and see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they got the right call. Right, by the time they touched that ball, they were down from their block and on the ground. I don't think you call that a block. I think that becomes the first dig.
And Susie Fritz coming over. There's going to be a challenge here again. And there is. Jordan Larson having a conversation with the up official.
And I think the challenge may be that that's not a challengeable call because it's subjective.
So Kaisa Alanko will serve. The point stays with Houston. We are tied at 9. Dykema on the combo play. Big swing by Bausch. Lunging play by Dykema. Bump set Rodriguez. Drevniak off the block and out of bounds.
A little bit of a limbo hit there, right? Take a swing and then duck out of the way.
Everybody do the limbo.
Early on, we got a lot of discrepancies. A lot of challenges happening here.
Kingdon Rischel thought that ball was in. Immediately looked to her bench, and Sanya Tomasevic. Tomasevic is a player starred for the 2005 Washington team that won the NCAA title. Of course, Courtney Thompson, the setter there. Thompson, major part of Love and on our Wednesday night broadcast team. Couldn't tell from that angle.
And a couple of things, right? So they're saying last touch, actually. So they're saying it didn't land in, but did it hit Drevniak on the way out?
Love Houston got swept at home by Salt Lake. They struggled in passing. They were in system just 29% of the time in their opening match on Thursday. Salt Lake was in system 47% of the time. So Susie Fritz telling us, Sanya Tomasevic telling us that first contact was key, and they lost that battle on Thursday.
Yeah, and both coaches really talking extensively about the out-of-system plays. What do you do in transition? What do you do when the pass and set are not perfect? for Susie Fritz, it really was focusing early on the play. It was interesting to hear, right? She said if we get better touches on the block, you see the call not being reversed. No touch on the way out. Wow.
Wow, it's like she's in the Matrix right there,
Right.
dodging a bullet.
Neo.
Exactly. Houston out of system. Kingdon Rissell trying to better the ball and goes wide.
Yeah, and with the passing of Houston, they continue kind of the early trend. And when they don't pass, besides Jordan Thompson, they don't have the big outsides who can go up and take big out-of-system swings. Got to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more creative on that play.
Again, Kaisa Olanko, setter from Finland, better pass that time. The back set, Thompson off the soft block. Drevniak got a hand on it, but a kill for Jordan Thompson. 11-10 Nebraska.
Just so good at keeping the ball high. Susie Fritz talked about it. She's been watching tons of Jordan Thompson videos and just doesn't take low, lazy swings.
There's Drevniak, off speed, dug by Thompson. Briseño teeing up Merzik, who has her first kill of the match. Told you they're going to see her in their nightmares here. It was 13 months ago. Penn State over Nebraska in Louisville in the NCAA semis. A reverse sweep. Merzik had 26 kills.
Amazing.
And now they get to see her in professional volleyball. Briseño teeing up Thompson, off speed. Pancake by Rodriguez and Drevniak.
And it's so cool to see how quickly these athletes go from the collegiate level to the pro level.
And Jess Merzik certainly has done that well, coming up with a kill there, one-on-one against Drevniak. Houston 12-11 in the first set. League One Volleyball is brought to you by Skims, the official loungewear, intimates, and sleepwear partner of Love. At Baxter Arena in Nebraska, first week of Love here in year 2, and major rules changes, maximum of 8 subs, and only 1 entry per set.
Yeah, I think this takes the play here at Love much more towards the international standard and towards Olympic play. And in terms of the timeouts and challenges, everything is about expediting play, keeping more action on the court rather than more time spent in delays.
Really love the pace of these matches. They were good last year. They're better this year. Dykam on the back set. Drevniak off speed. Thompson was there. Olanko teeing up Merzik. Wrist away. Dug by Rodriguez. Drevniak. Nice job to keep it alive. Likewise Larson. There's Thompson again. Second swing of the rally. Went for the high hands and did not get him. Initially, the up official said point Houston, but then quickly changed his mind. And Drevniak will serve. We chatted with her this morning, Kevin. Said her goal this year is to stay present. Service error for her there. Said she worked hard in the offseason on her mental performance with Nicole Davis. And to illustrate that, the 25 kills that she had in their first match, she said she didn't realize how well she was doing. That's how present she was.
Right.
Carroll with the swing and the kill off 1 foot.
You know, international fans from across the world really paying attention to this match. This is the first time that we're seeing Carroll, some people call her Carolina, as well as Bausch right next to her.
Kyle and Bausch actually married. They've been together since 2016 and got married March 2nd, 2023, and both newcomers to love.
Yeah, last couple of years they've been both playing in the Italian A1 division, but in separate teams, 200 miles apart, one in the north, one in the south, and they said, hey, we're both at the top of our game. Volleyball is important, but having a work-life balance is just as important for us.
Good work-life balance here in love with the shorter season. Micah Hancock into the match. Bothered by a neck injury. She has a thunderous serve, and it results in an ace.
Yeah, but showing you the non-thunderous jump float here as well, right? So not the serve we're used to seeing. And it was interesting because Sanja Tomasevic said that during the match, their first match, Micah kept on coming up saying, hey, I want to play. I want to get out there on the court. And even though she really wasn't cleared medically to do that.
Catalano with another kill off 1 foot. Side out, Love Nebraska.
Will she stay in here and set now? Or are they going to pull her into the passing rotation? What is... Oh, she's setting. She's setting.
Okay, Sorry, giving the signal. Cuddles serve. Rejected. Emily Thader comes up with her second block of the match.
Yeah, you got Houston doing the dub sub here. They're bringing in Micah Hancock as well as Lednicki, one of the stars of the Texas A&M current national championship team.
Yes, Lednicki, it was just 22 days ago that they polished off their NCAA championship. That's straight to the floor by Igidi. And Houston back on top, 16-15. There's Lednicki playing her second professional match. The Houston native, Sugar Land, Texas, 20 miles south of downtown. Grew up playing volleyball for Houston Skyline. Said she didn't dream of being a professional volleyball player in her hometown, that she didn't know what that was. That's the difference now. Girls in the United States will know what that is. Drevniak out of the back row, trying to better the ball. Diving dig by Hancock. Kingdon Rischel off the block and out of bounds. Maddie just finds a way to get it done.
Yeah, super smart, super creative. We see a lot of high flat swings on the outside. The way her game has evolved since those collegiate games where we called those matches.
That we did. 11th year pro. You know what her favorite quote is? A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. And she's been through some rough waters, to be sure, and is much better for it. Maddie Kingdon Rischel.
It's cool to see her relationship as well with Merzik, that passing on the torch we've talked about a few times, right? Real big mentorship there.
Kingdon Rischel with the pass. Igidi with the swing. That time, Thader unable to block it. And Amber Igidi puts Houston up 18-16. And she will go back and serve. Talked about her playing for Robin Amo at Hawaii, and Amber gives a lot of credit to her club coach in her high school years, Donna Pixley. That set tight to the net. Drevniak pushing it over. Igidi there for the dig. Back set from Hancock. The swing by Lednicki, the kill for the Texas A&M Aggie, Logan Lednicki.
So impressed by her vision of the block. And she said something that she's been working on for the last 18 months, put a lot of emphasis on it, especially as she started playing on the national team, the senior team, playing against much bigger blocking.
Big time learning there for her. Jordan Larson on the opposite end of the spectrum, the 18th year pro, 39 years old. 18 years older than Lednicki, got up with a kill, and she's retiring. Announced that 2 days ago, but she's still playing at a really high level.
One of the best passers still in the league, if not the world.
And she has an ace, as Kingdon Rischel elected to let it go.
And actually, this is a team. Larson's serve is not going to catch her. It's not the fastest. It's not the best locations, but she switches speeds, and she scores a lot of points in her service rotation.
Kingdon Rischel wrist away, dug by Rodriguez. The overdid. Kingdon Rischel down the line and got it. If at first you don't succeed.
Yeah, and you can see Lexi Rodriguez wanting that back. That's one of the cardinal sins. You got to make sure you keep that dig off the net on your side of the court, and that time she had the overpass. She has played at a really high level, right? The passing has looked really good. The defense has looked very composed. I think that year behind Justine Wong-Arantes last year really served her well.
One of the more popular people anywhere outside Jordan Larson in Nebraska. I couldn't believe how many people were up in arms last year that Rodriguez wasn't playing. I mean, you've got a fellow Husker and a two-time Olympic medalist, gold medal winner Justine Wong-Arantes, and they're like, why isn't Lexi playing?
Yeah.
There's good reason. And she said she learned a lot from that perspective.
She did. But you can also understand the fans, right? And if you see the autograph lines at the end of matches, the longest ones are Lexi Rodriguez.
Timeout taken by Love Nebraska, and she says that she will wait there forever until the last person in that line is gone. So Houston leading at 21-18 here in this first set.
Good look at Sanja Tomasevic. We had a really interesting, learned a lot from her about the state of play across the world, their time at Vakif Bank, and the perspective on a program that is run by a government-sponsored bank that had unlimited funds, and yet in a league where there was a big range. There were some teams in their division in Turkey that had 10% of the budget that the Vakif Bank club did.
That included teams in the Champions League.
Right.
The top teams there had much higher budgets. And in talking with a lot of players in Love who have played overseas, they'll tell you that Italy is the best league in the world. Turkey, the top teams there are as good as the teams in Italy, but top to bottom, Italy is better. Dykema on the back set. Drevniak rejected by Foley and Kingdon Rischel.
The back set that traveled a long way, and Foley not fooled. Really good job of closing the seam.
Nebraska needs this. Drevniak.
That was a little bit of a no look, right? Facing the left side of the court, turns it back to the right. And with a lot of confidence. She didn't even go look and see if that ball hit the floor. I think she was just ready to go back and celebrate with the team.
Cross body. Kimberly Drevniak. Now Thader will serve. Hoping to put Love Nebraska on a run here. But Kingdon Rischel with other thoughts. And now Kingdon Rischel will go back and serve. How about the swing there from Bausch? Showing she's still got it at 34 years old, 19th year pro.
Olympian 2 times, including 2024. Finished 4th with the Netherlands in Rio de Janeiro. Actually played with Dykema on that same team.
We have 7 Olympians in this match. Good work to keep that alive by the setter Alanko. Adriana Fitzmaurice in the match for Nebraska. She had a swing there. Bausch again. Covered up by Rodriguez. Bausch again. Hard angle attack. Went wide. And it is... Oh, in fact, she got it. Point Nebraska. Well done for Bausch. 23-21 Houston.
Look wide to me. I think they're going to go to the challenge right here. Didn't see a touch on the swing out. That was an ambitious swing going for the hard angle.
Yes, it was.
In system. I love what Gabby Blossom brings to this Nebraska team. Susie Fritz talking about her as being one of the more competitive players on the team on a really competitive team in general.
Lexi Rodriguez was asked, how intense are your practices? And Lexi said, it depends on how heated Gabby Blossom gets. She said they're a really fun team. They like to keep it loose, but Blossom keeps them in line and helps them be accountable. That's her, number 13 right there, Gabby Blossom, out of the University of San Diego. Prior to that, Penn State. Nearly 3,300 assists in her 4 years at Penn State, then guided San Diego under Jennifer Petrie to its first ever NCAA semifinal appearance in 2022. She was first team All-American.
Saying that ball hit the line.
So the point goes to Nebraska, and Gabby Blossom will serve again. St. Louis native. Good pass by Merzik. Thompson. Overhand dig by Larson. Swing by Bausch off the soft block. Dug by Kingdon Rischel. It's Thompson down the line, and Rodriguez couldn't dig it. That was a bullet.
Yeah, and if you're a young setter anywhere in the country, pay attention to what Kaisa Alanko's doing. When you get to 23, when you get to 24, you better know who your go-to hitter is, and you better go to them often.
I remember a conversation last year as Karin Pogletova comes in to serve, try to get them across the finish line, where Jordan Poulter said that she decides who she's going to serve before the point even happens.
Yeah, it's interesting. Meanwhile, Carlini, I would ask her, and she says she actually can take a look during the middle of the play peripherally, and that'll give her some cues on where she should go.
Second set point coming up for Love Houston. Timeout taken by Houston. 30-second timeout for Sonia Tomasevic. What's the discussion there?
Ice the hitter a little bit, or ice the server a little bit. Get your passing ready. When this Houston team takes care of the serve and takes care of their pass, they are really, really dangerous. And then on the other side, efficiency. Rischel's been really good out on the left side. She's been the number one hitter, but I still think you get that swing, you get that chance. Got to go out to Jordan Thompson. Merzik's at 500. Rischel's at 364. So you look at the current stats, it says maybe send it out to the left side.
League-wide last year, the positive pass percentage, first contact after the serve, was 44%. Houston, despite the 2-point lead, they were just 37% in this first set. So passing was an issue in their first match. They'll look to have a good one here on their third opportunity to close out this first set with Bausch serving it away. It was Kingdon Rischel. Good pass, combo play, and it's Igidi. And Nebraska couldn't keep it alive. That's 4. And Houston takes the first set here in Omaha, 25-22 over Nebraska. Second set action coming up from Baxter Arena, and the hometown team will look to answer. Kimberly Drevniak, 5 kills in that first set. She had a couple of attack errors, got blocked once, hitting 150 so far. If they're going to get back into this and win the second set, figures that she will be front and center.
Yeah, both teams kind of passed what they normally pass. On the one side, Nebraska, one of the best passing teams in the league, and yet they weren't able to turn it into offense. A lot of hitting errors across the net for Houston. Hitting percentage pretty high despite average passing for them. So we're seeing some of the highlights for this Nebraska team, but how can they do that over an extended period of time?
Drevniak, among many players heavily involved in clubs, one of the most involved. She said volleyball gave her first real sense of belonging, and it's given so much to her that she wants to give back. And she said she's playing for that girl in the stands or watching from home. She wants them to believe that anything is possible.
And it's not just words. You'll see the posts on her Instagram. You'll see her in the back of videos. Iowa, Nebraska, Madison, Wisconsin. She's all over the place.
All over the place. And, of course, the Love Club's up to 99 locations now, well over 2,000 junior teams. Volleyball, the fastest growing sport in the country, and Love has the #1 youth volleyball business in the U.S., and this professional league was launched from the grassroots up.
Yeah, the strength, right? I don't think that there's a TV contract without the club community. I don't know if there's all the partnership success that's happened. It has really been key to what we've done here.
There's a block by Foley again, and Houston coming up bigger than that.
And what's been key to this Houston team and what looks so different than what they did in their first match, you see emotion, you see energy, you see excitement.
Kingdon Rishel will serve again. We know we have the volleyball audience, particularly on these streaming telecasts, Kevin, and so I would say if you're a volleyball fan and you have friends that aren't, tell them about it. Post about it on social. The best thing about these players is, and I love this word, relatability. They are so relatable. How about this? Have a volleyball watch party. Introduce your non-volleyball friends to volleyball.
Love it.
Throw a Super Bowl type party.
Love it. They're relatable. They're accessible. You know, we talk about the lines of autographs. Pretty special thing. And I think that comes from the culture that happens in college, right? College volleyball has been such a strength for such a long time, and it's really carrying forward here into the pro ranks.
Yeah, perfect timing with women's sports really growing in popularity. Foley, we've seen her with the block, and now there's Foley with the kill. Rafa Foley out of Bolzano, Italy. It's the capital of the Italian northern province of South Tyrol, the Italian Alps, not far from the borders of Switzerland and Austria. And there's an ace. Foley on the block with the kill and with an ace.
It's one of the numbers that Foley wasn't shining in the 2025 season. Had a few aces and a lot of errors, and looking early on to do much better here.
A good pass by Bausch results in the kill.
Carroll on that kill. Got first approached by Courtney Thompson from Love back in 2024, but had already had a contract and said, hey, I'm interested. I'm going to pay attention. Started talking to her friends, Carly Lloyd. How are things going? Talked to Foley. And here she is in 2026.
Bausch now, hard angle attack. So Carroll with one kill, Bausch with the next.
So they're getting used to the cold weather in Nebraska.
Uh-huh. And, folks, it's going to get colder. And it's going to be that way for a while. Merzik, dug by Larson. Drevniak with the set. Bausch with the swing. Dug by Kingdon Rishel. Set by Alanko. Kingdon Rishel out of the back row. She had the dig and the kill. Excellent work in transition for the veteran Kingdon Rishel.
Yeah, she's put up some good numbers. Kept sharp during the offseason. Spent some time with Merzik in Indonesia, playing in the league down there during the offseason.
A month there last year. Last year was the first time wearing her maiden name on her back, Rishel. Her husband, Paul Rishel. You ever say to anybody, Kevin, what are you, a rocket scientist? He's actually a rocket scientist. They live in Southern California. Bausch with the kill.
We were talking to Temi Thomas Ailara. She's practically a rocket scientist.
No
you
kidding.
know, look in her bio. Maybe it's a biology scientist instead, but I was super impressed.
Outside hitter. Biomedical engineer Timmy Tomasai-Lara. On the slide, Carol. Net violation on Houston. Nebraska back even at 5, trying to even this up at a set apiece. Big smile from Carol. Ana Catalina da Silva out of Brazil. We've got a lot of different options to call here. Call her Catalana, da Silva, Ana Catalina. Goes by Carol, Americanization of her name, Carol. Alanko on the back set. Thompson out of the back row. And how about Larson on the block?
Still got that look. Still got that energy. A lot of people thought last year would be the year she retired, but she said, hey, I had such a good time. It was so much fun competing. I was still playing at a high level. Let's run it back in 2026.
There's Igidi. Yeah, she actually announced her retirement before the Tokyo Games and then had the kill that ended it when the U.S. won their first ever gold medal. Could have gone out riding her white horse into the sunset.
You can't do that. You can't do that, right? She's the MVP of the Olympic Games and the best outside hitter.
She decided that she was going to come back. This time she's retiring. I don't think it's going to be a Brett Favre situation. I think that this is actually it.
Or I think she's got maybe even more impact through other things. She's heavily involved with the Love Foundation. For her, a big part of this was making sure there could be pro in the U.S., and then how do you spread opportunities to other people who might not be able to afford the sport of volleyball.
And she'll be part of the ownership group with Love Nebraska.
You can see Nebraska really starting to key in on Merzik on that right side. It's interesting because you pass more on the left side than you do, the left and the middle than you do on the right side. So these rotations 1 and 4 really trying for outside hitters.
All right, let's see how Merzik does on this one. Now that was Briseño. Back row attack by Thompson. How about her flying through the air? Jordan Thompson. What an athlete.
And I love Briseño stepping in and taking some of that seam and helping out with the pass for Merzik. 2 years she was one of the best passers on the NCAA stage.
Briseño out of Baylor. She's adapting really well.
I actually talked to her coach Josh Walker earlier today. He said she's the perfect idol for people to look up to. Walk on to Baylor, earned a scholarship over 2 years, and then had all the success to build on.
Talking about Lauren Briseño, and Sanya Tomasevic asked the Baylor coaches if Briseño's always so quiet. And they said, wait, what? Quiet? Not at all. She's just getting things figured out at the pro level.
Yeah, I think it is interesting, right? Because you have players like Micah Hancock and Jordan Thompson that you look up to for years and years, and all of a sudden you're shoulder to shoulder with them on the court.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes sense that you might come a little bit quiet, a little bit humble, and find your space.
Can be a little bit intimidating for sure. Good pass by Bausch. The swing by Larson. Rejected Thompson and Foley. And we're even at 9 here in the second set.
The eyes tell it all. The block, the stare through the net. Jordan Thompson's got some feist to her.
I like it. Alanko serve. Rodriguez with the pass. Dykema. Back in the face of Larson. Covered up herself. Hard angle attack by Drevniak. Wow. What a bullet by Kimberly Drevniak.
And Foley got caught in no woman's land.
Oh, man.
You should not be there. She in the firing, the splash zone there. And you can see the smile saying, how in the world did I get there?
Don't think that was the contact that Foley wanted, but it worked out.
And Alanko's done a really good job. I'll tell you, going back to the end of the first set when she decided to set Igidi on that set point ball, I think it showed a lot of confidence. I think it showed a lot of creativity.
Drevniak off the soft block. Kingdon Rischel there for the dig. Alanko going outside to Merzik. One-hand dig by Rodriguez. Wow, indeed. Bausch with the swing. Back on her face. Kept alive nicely by Dykema and by Drevniak. There's a dig by Merzik. There's Thompson. And Dykema couldn't dig that one. Jordan Thompson terminal after a really entertaining rally.
I think Jordan Thompson, another one of those athletes that may have started off a little bit more quiet earlier in her career, and you're starting to see now she's owning some of these team meetings, right? You can see her bringing some of that confidence and some of that energy and leadership.
Why not? Two-time Olympian.
Wow.
Indeed. Dig by Alanko and Briseño in there as well, and the swing by Bausch. Going back to that dig that we just saw in the replay from Lexi Rodriguez, Lexi says that her goal, of course, is to be an Olympian. That is the dream. It's tough, though, because international tournaments have 14 players with 2 liberos, but the Olympics, a dozen, you usually only keep one.
Right.
She's got to contend with the likes of Morgan Hentz and others. Of course, Justine Wong-Arantes, the 2-time Olympian, 2-time medalist. There's Merzik. Again, Wong-Arantes, one of the Love players not playing this year because she's expecting her first child. She and husband Andrew do in March. Houston won the first set, 25-22. They lead the second set, 12-11. Back with more second set action from Omaha. Amber Igini just had her 25th birthday 3 days ago. Big summer for her. Volleyball Nations League, World Championships, and having a big match here today so far at Nebraska.
Yeah, known for her defensive abilities on the block, but the offense just keeps on getting better and better. Relentless energy, amazing physicality in the middle, and I think there's just this fearlessness that all the best middle blockers have.
She has 4 kills. Matter of fact, her birthday last year was the same birthday as Love. She turned 24, January 8th, 2025, the day of the first match in Love history, Salt Lake against Atlanta.
Huh.
Dykema teeing up Da Silva. And we're back even at 12.
Looking through the bio, I thought it was really interesting. She's a vegan, right? And I think that's something you see more and more at top-level athletes. For a long time, people didn't think that was possible.
Bump set by Briseño, off speed on the slide. Caro rejected by Merzik. A block solo for Jess Merzik.
That is such an important skill to have for your left side blockers because we see so many slides, because we see so much middle offense going behind the setter. How can you stop that? Because a lot of times it's one-on-one.
Jess Merzick, another player who loves to give back, says that it's a big inspiration for her as a ball girl for University of Michigan. Merzick said she was starstruck, and she says she loves this job because it gives her the opportunity to meet youth, and she remembers what it was like. She wants to affect change and make people's day. Wrist away by Thompson goes wide. Rare attack error on Jordan Thompson, and Nebraska up 14-13.
I mean, you just look at this Nebraska team. They bring all their players from last year, and then they add 2 world-class players. And then across the net, Tomasevic doing the dub sub.
And Bausch's serve. Good pass by Merzick. Hancock teeing up by Igidi. And Igidi says there was a touch.
Sometimes those swings come so quickly in the back row, even if you know it's going out of bounds, it's hard to get out of the way. And I think middle back here might have gotten picked off by some shrapnel from the spike.
Challenge issued by Love Houston. They were successful on one in the first set. So will it be 15-13 Nebraska, or will this one be tied? Let's have a look-see. Couldn't tell anything whether or not it hit Bausch there.
Didn't hit Bausch in the back. Then the question, did it hit Carroll in the front row?
Again, he's got some angles we don't have. There are 40 cameras here. Let's have a look from NetCam.
You could just go straight over the top, but you could see the scouting report that they had. Both Larson and Carroll almost a full commit on that play. They're giving Igidi a lot of respect. Oh, they got the touch.
That they did, and we're even at 14. These two teams evenly matched. Susie Fritz talked to us this morning and said that's a great thing about this league, is that any team can beat any other team on any given day.
And I really do think part of it is the funding side, right? When you have an even playing field, it leads towards equity. I can't imagine a $1 million roster trying to go out and play against a $10 million budget on any given night, like you see in a lot of leagues across the world.
Rookie Maya Sands coming in. Sands going for the diving dig, unable to get it. And Jordan Larson showing she still has some heat in that right arm.
A lot of times she's going to go with the off speed, but when she brings out that fastball, still got the juice.
Carroll will serve. On a Catalina da Silva. Longtime member of the Brazilian national team. Kingdon Rischel off the soft block. Drevniak there. Dykema teeing up Larson. Lunging play by Hancock. Kingdon Rischel. Rejected by Thader. Emily Thader on the block.
The Lednicki and all the other Love Next players, only a week or two of practice, right? And thrust right into the big pressure situations.
Lednicki just arrived with the team on January the 2nd. Hard angle attack by Kingdon Rischel. And Carroll couldn't dig it. By the way, Thader now with 3 blocks in this match. Overhand pass by Bausch, swing by Larson. Igidi couldn't dig it. That's a quick offense.
Big swing. Early in her career, she had that swing on nearly every play. I think later in her career, she's got to ration out those big swings in key situations.
3 kills now for Jordan. Big left arm there for Lednicki.
Really interesting conversation with her earlier in the week where she talked, a lot of times opposites will talk to you about hitting high hands. She says because the hands take so much area, she actually aims for the wrists. where there's less coverage from the blockers. I've never heard that in all my years of talking in volleyball.
Yeah, I thought to myself, well, if Kevin hasn't heard it, then I don't feel so bad about not hearing it for myself. She said if you're going for that 1-6 seam, left back, left middle, she likes to go for the wrists. You always told me you don't want to hit the branches, you want to hit the leaves. She's trying to hit it between the branches.
And I think what she's saying a little bit, though, you don't get to hit the wrist unless you're hitting it on the way up for the blockers. Because once the blockers get their hands over the net, there's no chance to hit a wrist, right? So I think what she does is change some of the tempo and goes a little quicker as the block is going up.
Alanko and Thompson back in the dub sub. Dykema teeing up Drevniak. Drevniak off the block and out of bounds. 18-17 Nebraska.
Seen a lot of balance on both offenses so far. Hasn't been too heavy on any one player.
7th kill for Drevniak. Alanko going to Thompson. Jordan Thompson getting Houston back even at 18. Back and forth we go.
She absolutely dominated the Athletes Unlimited League earlier this year. I think they declared her the champion, maybe with a week to play still.
Yeah. Great October for her. A couple of weeks in Nebraska, a couple of weeks in Wisconsin. There's a bright spot for them on Thursday. 17 kills at 333. 9 serves, and Salt Lake was in system only on one of those serves. And there's Thompson again. What a weapon she is.
Yeah, and just the different gears right now. And right now, it's all business. All business.
Thompson now with 9 kills. Service error puts Nebraska back up 2019. First home match for Love Nebraska. Friday they'll be at Madison, 7 o'clock Central on Victory Plus. Then they're back home a week from today against Atlanta, 5 o'clock Central, ESPN Plus. Gabby Blossom will serve for Nebraska. Out of system, Merzick well off the net, rolls one over, and it's long. Goes back to an excellent serve by Blossom.
And that's the play. That is the Achilles heel for this Houston team. You combine a pass that's not perfect with a bad decision offensively, and that's the worst case scenario.
Susie Fritz, head coach of Love Nebraska in her second year, the all-time winningest coach in Kansas State history. Coached the Wildcats 2001 to 2023. Remember talking to her last year. This Nebraska team has such a good culture, and of course Jordan Larson is at the heart of that. But she said culture is simple. It's how you treat each other, how you talk about each other, how you think about each other.
I love it. And, you know, she's shifted how she thinks about coaching in a lot of ways, because this is a team, she says, they have decades of Olympic experience. So when we think about putting in place systems, it's not Susie Fritz's system. It's a collaborative affair where everyone pitches in best practices from all of their steps along their journeys.
I think at any level, college, professional, any sport, the days of the coach who says my way, the highway, those are gone.
True.
From here on out, it has to be collaborative, and I'm here for it. I played for enough coaches in baseball that was my way or the highway.
I think we all did. Our generation didn't have much chance, right?
Yeah, you played for Al Skates. Was he the biggest my way or the highway guy?
No, he actually was interesting because his way was just find a way to win.
Okay. I did a bunch of matches with Al a decade or so ago. Highly entertaining guy to work with. And there's Jess Merzick getting one back for Houston. Side out, love Houston. They're back within one.
Yeah, that was the best. Legend, all-time NCAA championship winning at UCLA for years and years. And his coaching tree is pretty impressive.
Yes. Thompson was excellent from the service line in their first match. Bausch pushing one over. Well done, Ann Bausch.
And the question, Houston wants a lift. Did she hold on to that ball too long? And it looks like they're going to get it.
They're going to get it. Is this indeed too long?
Well, in slow motion, it's going to look really, really long.
Right,
but at the end of that play, Bausch was looking up at that ref going, are you kidding me?
I've seen worse that wasn't called. What a big moment to call it, too. And a rejection. How about that from the setter, Olanko, the Finnish setter who was 5'9". Sanya Tomasevic said she hadn't watched her play, didn't know much about her, said she is a baller, and she wins a lot in the Houston gym.
Wow, 3 points in a row, and this was a set that it looked like Nebraska was in really good shape to win. Now they're climbing up the hill a little bit.
Well, similar to that first set, Nebraska had a lead toward the latter stages, but Houston won it. Now they're ahead 22-21. Timeout taken by Susie Fritz. What's the conversation here?
It's interesting. Fritz is just trying to say it's all normal, but you could see at the end Vasilevska coming over to Bausch saying, like, hey, it's okay, next play, right? You could kind of see that Bausch was holding on to that bad call into the next play. How quick can your memory be?
One veteran counseling another, Iga Vasilevska and Bausch. Be a goldfish, Sam. Ted Lasso fan?
Yeah.
Shortest memory in the world, 10 seconds. Larson will serve again. Again, 9 serves in their first match. Salt Lake was in system only once. Service error there. It's going to happen if you're going for it. We're even at 22.
No more dub sub, right? With the new rules, you got 1 single entry. So Houston going to have to gut it out with 2 front row hitters here.
We'll see how well Bausch is able to forget. That pass at the 10-foot line. Pushed over. Diving dig by Rodriguez. Kept alive by Bausch. Rejected by Igidi. Houston with the advantage here in the second.
Oh, Nebraska did the hard stuff. They got the amazing dig from Rodriguez. They get the beautiful out-of-system set. A fun rally.
That it was, and now Merzik will serve. Trickled over the top of the tape. Set point Houston. Oh, Kevin, if you could perfect that.
My old beach volleyball broadcast partner, Chris Marlowe, is convinced that the Chinese were able to do that on the beach.
Able to perfect it?
Yeah, he would tell me that. And I had never quite bought what he was selling, but he was convinced.
You guys make a great team to be sure. Service error as she went for it again. A lot of volleyball coaches would tell you that service errors are rarely a make or break, that they want their teams to continue to go for it. Ana Catalina da Silva.
They went to Igidi in the first set to end the set. Let's see if they go back to her here.
Oh, kept alive nicely by Olanko. Larson, dug by Briseño. Bumps out Olanko. Rischel. How about Dykema? 2 set points for Houston. Go awry, and we're back even at 24.
Setters are so good at these quick plays. Does such an amazing job. She pushes it into the block, wipes it out.
Setters usually win jousts their stronger hands.
I'm not sure if they're just cleaning the floor or if they're challenging, but a lot of people talking to that up ref right now.
All right, we're set to go. Carl will serve. Back-to-back points for Nebraska. Big sigh for Ana Catalina da Silva. Going after Merzik. Good pass. Igidi. Amber Igidi on the slide. How about her off 1 foot? And Houston will have their 3rd set point, trying to go up 2-0.
The slide and the tip. We're not typically used to seeing Igidi tip a lot. And they're going for the area 6-5 serve there towards the right side of the court. Perfect 6-5.
Out of system. Well done. Larson Dug by Merzick off the soft block, and it wasn't so soft either. Dykema, lots of options here. Going to Jordan Larson off the hands. Dug by Kingdon Rischel. Kingdon Rischel trying to put it away. Dug by Drevniak. Dykema, they got to have it. Larson gets it done. Back even at 25. When in doubt, go to the GOAT.
Oh, and remember that play because Houston had a chance, two chances to get the set there, and they didn't go to Jordan Thompson in either of those two chances. Out of system. She's your garbage handler, right?
You get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
Thompson high in the air. So they go to her that time. It'll be their fourth set point coming up. What will it take for Houston to close things out here?
I think they got to be a little more patient on the defensive side here. A lot of these plays for Nebraska have been a little sloppy, a little bit off speed, and then at the end, I think out of system got to go back to Thompson again.
It's Drevniak. We got two opposites playing here at a high level. 4 set points set aside by Nebraska.
That might have been Drevniak's best swing of the night here. Coming in with a big approach, quick arm.
And now Larson to serve it for Nebraska. Thompson, covered up by Briseño. Kingdon Rischel, dug by Rodriguez. Overdig, put down by Foley. Fifth set point for Love Houston. Rafaela Foley had a groin injury in their last match. We're unsure that she was going to play, but she has excelled. Maddie Kingdon Rischel. Lexi Rodriguez with a pass. It was a good one. Drevniak trying to answer, and she does. Back even at 27. Hanging by a thread here in this second set. Drevniak with back-to-back big-time kills. 5 set points turned aside by Nebraska. Now Emily Thader to serve. Merzik's pass, a good one again. Merzik with a swing. A 6th set point coming up for Love Houston.
And the hit continues what she's been doing, but the passing hasn't been that good. Merzik's been the target, but that might have been her best pass. Perfect pass, perfect tempo.
Dykema going to Bausch. Sent over the top by Merzik. Drevniak, big swing. Igidi back in the face of Rodriguez. Hard angle attack by Bausch.
Bausch has got a really interesting arm swing. It's got a lot of moving parts. It's like a pitcher with a huge windup, and yet she's still able to have good control and good contact.
Serena Gray of Salt Lake has a bit of a roundhouse arm swing.
You're right.
We're tied at 28. Olanko. Thompson rejected by Carroll. First set point coming up for Nebraska.
And that was a high hit, but Bausch just elevating and reaching and using that length.
6 set points for Houston turned aside. Served by Drevniak, and it goes long. Smile from Sanya Tomasevic. And now Jordan Thompson. Pass well off the net. Bausch dug by Thompson. Olanko. Merzik high in the air. Blocked by Carroll. How about Ana Catalina da Silva at 6 feet tall, a middle blocker?
Yeah, 8 times in Brazil, 8 different years, the Superliga, she was voted the best middle blocker, and showing you why.
How about the hop she has? 6 feet tall, a middle blocker, 34 years old. Second set point for Nebraska. Igidi on the slide. Second time we've seen her off 1 foot in this set. We're even at 30.
Yeah, Lonko's really leaned in on Igidi in some pressure situations, and she's delivered.
Just Berzik serving Rodriguez. They're out of system. Bump set by Dykema. Well off the net. Jordan Larson trying to better the ball and goes long. A 7th set point coming up for Love Houston. Anita Onwusi, Sada Loda, loving it, among others, on the Love Houston bench. There's a challenge on that from Love Nebraska, challenging whether or not there was a touch.
And a lot of times at the collegiate level, because the replays last so long, you'll see coaches using the challenge as a timeout. But
Yes.
you don't see it quite as much, because if it's well above the hands, it's going to move pretty quick. Here's a look. That's an earlier play of Igidi putting down to get us to where we are now.
Houston, I believe, will have their 7th set point if this holds. Nebraska's had a couple of set points turned aside. If memory serves, the longest set in Love history was 33-31.
And he says, no touch.
No touch indeed. Nebraska loses the challenge. Merzik will serve. 7th set point for Love Houston at 31-30. Combo play, and Larson extends it again.
You know, as Nebraska goes back, Merzik is the target. But they haven't really challenged Briseño much at all here tonight. Only 2 serves all night long. I wonder if you give one to the rookie at any point.
That was a great pass there, I believe, by Bausch. Carroll serves. Alanko. Free ball coming. A chance for Nebraska to get to another set point. Larson just saw the forehands go up and knew exactly what to do.
Everything but the kitchen sink, right? We see the tips. We see the throw. This time the two-handed set into the block.
32-31, Love Nebraska. Their 3rd set point. They've turned aside 7 set points for Houston. Bump set by Alanko, out of system. Kingdon Rischel off the block. Bump set by Briseño. Kingdon Rischel again. Covered up by Igidi. Houston has to have it. 3rd swing of the rally for Maddie Kingdon Rischel. And she evens it up at 32.
And what is so genius from Kingdon Rischel there is the patience. First 2, not the perfect situation. She recycles into the block, stays patient, allows her team to get a better situation. And when she gets that situation, then you take a little bigger swing.
Isn't this something, Kevin? I believe we will have the longest set in Love history. I think the longest was 33-31. We're even at 32. On the slide, Thader. So Emily Thader off one foot. Nebraska will have their 4th set point.
Just so much better off of one foot, right? She's just so good in these front row setter rotations, or when she can run behind. Merzik's got to pass here. This has been the challenge. They've been attacking Merzik's passing and getting him out of the system.
She and Briseño and Kingdon Rischel in serve receive. Dykema serves it. Merzik's pass. Pretty good one. Jordan Thompson off speed. One-hand diving dig.
Wow.
What a job.
Rodriguez slow to get up.
Thompson, bigger swing that time. Dug by Dykema. Bub set by Lexi Rodriguez. Drevniak rejected by Foley.
In the middle of that rally, Drevniak and Rodriguez went for the same ball, and you're talking about a differential in size, and you could see Lexi Rodriguez took the brunt of that, and she was very slow to get up.
Nebraska has had 7 set points. 4 set points, pardon me. Houston has had 7. Kaisa Olanko, backup setter, starting this match again. Olanko, and it's an ace! And Houston will have their 8th set point. Houston and Austin last February, 33-31, the longest set in Love history. This has surpassed it. Good pass by Lexi. Combo play, Larson off the block. Larson, another swing. She says, hey, stay out of the way. That ball's going out. Look at her protecting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Smart play. Calls her own number on the overpass. And once again, they're going to put it on Merzick.
Foley with a kill, little wrist away. Another set point coming up for Nebraska, their 9th. I remember a set, back about maybe 2018 in the NCAA tournament, Minnesota and Oregon, and I think it ended 44-42. Got to have it from Bausch. That's dug by Olanko. Thompson with the swing, going for the high hands. Couldn't believe she couldn't get it. Upset at herself. And we're even at 35.
I'll tell you, the Adidas uniforms withstood the frustrated pull tug from Jordan Thompson.
Now Thader serves. Pass tight to the net by Merzick. Foley blocked by Carroll. 2 elite middle blockers right there. Foley and Carroll. And Carroll gives Nebraska their 5th set point.
They're good friends off the court. They spent a lot of time in Italy together. But this was violent.
Ooh, baby. Can't believe the hops for the 34-year-old Carroll at 6 feet tall. Now Houston has to have it. Merzick rejected by Carroll. Ana Catalina da Silva wins it for Love Nebraska, 37-35. Take a deep breath. Wow. Shades of Nebraska and Texas A&M. Nebraska beating Texas A&M in that 4th set 28 days ago, 50 miles southwest of here in Lincoln. They won it
so late to the party, right? But doesn't give up and keeps working.
How about that? Nebraska 37-35. We're even at a set apiece.
grew up in a small town called Hooper, Nebraska. My dad was a farmer. My mom lived in town. My parents got divorced when I was 3, so I kind of got a little city life, and then I got the country as well. I was kind of thrown into a lot of different sports as a kid. I started playing soccer, basketball, softball, and I really just kind of fell in love with volleyball. I kind of already knew that I was probably going to go to Nebraska. It just seemed like the best choice for me, especially where I was from. If you fast forward to my senior year, I think not only just maturity-wise, but I also think like leadership-wise, it was amazing. Even though we didn't walk away with a national championship, we were so successful. And I think it was just a general life lesson that wins and losses come, right? But how do you want to feel at the end of it? When I was young, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to be an Olympian, but I didn't know really what that meant. There was not a ton that we could do staying in the States playing professionally. There just wasn't any opportunities, and in order to make the national team, like, you had to be playing all year round. So I graduated in December of '08, and I signed my first contract in Puerto Rico. I played January through April, and then I got asked to come to the national team and try out. I actually lost my mom that year, so that in itself, like, challenging, like emotionally, but then also mentally, trying to be like where I want and where she also wanted me to be. It's for that little girl that I had dreams of being where I am, and to actually see it come to fruition, like, it's so surreal. Gearing up to the first Love season, I was training with Love in the morning and then going to coach in the afternoon with the Huskers. It's been so fun. How can I mentor now the next generation of what I've learned and what I wish I would have learned faster? When I leave the sport, I hope that every interaction that someone has had with me, that they've felt that I've tried to leave it better than I found it.
And she is certainly doing that. What a story. 18th year pro. Still looks basically the same as she did when she was a senior back in '08 at Nebraska, and still playing at a very high level.
Yeah, there's so many takeaways from that press conference. I think one of the big ones for me, though, is no matter where she went throughout the world at the Olympic Games, always felt like she was representing the state of Nebraska and took it with her throughout the world. And I think that that's really cool to know where your roots are.
Hooper, Nebraska, 50 miles northwest of Omaha, population 850.
Wow.
Hometown of Jordan Larson. Yeah, right on cue. How about that? Conde Herrera getting some action here. That was a long set, 37-35 Nebraska, the longest set in Love history. And so fresh troops in there. Candelaria Herrera in at middle blocker, and a service error from Larson. We're even at 1. It was 4 weeks ago today when Love Nebraska beat Texas A&M in a 37-35 fourth set. But Texas A&M, to the chagrin of Nebraska fans, would win the fifth set 15-13. Any way to show Logan Lednicki on the bench for Houston? Here's Conde Herrera, 26 years old, Argentine national team. That was her serve. Jordan Larson digs Jordan Thompson. Former Olympic teammates, the last 2 quadrennials. Number 18, that is Logan Lednicki, and she played for that Texas A&M team. And I asked her what Jamie Morrison said during the break after they lost that 37-35 fourth set. They figured, anybody watching would figure, okay, Nebraska's now going to dominate that fifth set. But amazingly, Texas A&M won. And then, of course, they would win 2 more matches and win the title. But I asked, I can't remember if it was Lednicki or if it was Ifena Kasapala of Salt Lake, what Morrison said. And whichever one answered said that he didn't do a lot of talking. It was the players that did the talking.
Yep. Yeah, and the message that came out of that break was, we've got a lot left in the tank. Let's go empty it here in the fifth set. Let's go give everything we've got.
Challenge unsuccessful. Love the view from the Hawkeye cameras. And now Foley, who starred in that second set, will serve here early in the third, tied at 2. And Carroll, who had The block that ended that 37-35 second set comes up with a kill.
It's such an international team, right? You've got a Dutch outside hitter and setter. You've got a Canadian opposite. Middles from Argentina and Brazil.
They have 8 from the USA, 8 internationals. 2 Germany, 2 from the Netherlands, Canada, Poland, Brazil, Argentina, all represented. More than 30 internationals in League One Volleyball this year. Down the line and wide.
Herrera coming back from off-season knee surgery, so we'll keep our eye on her fitness. Susie Fritz talking a lot about how much work she does, how much of a blue-collar athlete she is.
Houston tried to overcome an overpass. Merzic, diving play by Rodriguez. Larson down the line. Overhand dig by Thompson. Hancock went for it.
And this is the first set you talked about. First set that we've got Micah Hancock starting the set with Jordan Thompson across the net. So Sonia Tomasevic maybe with a little assist from Micah Hancock saying, put me in, coach.
Uh-huh. She's ready to play today, even with the sore neck. Igidi on the slide, hard angle attack, and went wide. So we have Larson, Hancock, and Thompson. All U.S. Olympians from the last 2 quadrennials. Micah Hancock came in after Lauren Carlini got hurt in the Paris Games and played really well for a couple of matches before Carlini came back. And, of course, Jordan Poulter as well. 3 setters for the U.S., all part of League One Volleyball.
And with Micah Hancock coming in, this is a purely U.S. team, right? The internationals in green, but right across the way, you can see a lot of homegrown talent here.
Another challenge issued, this time by Houston.
Yeah, the second set, very heartbreaking for Houston, and I think one of the reasons why Sonia Tomasevic is bringing Micah Hancock into the game is she gets a different energy. The offense looks a little bit different, a little bit more leadership.
Houston won the first set 25-22, coming from behind to win it. And then they had 9 set points turned aside in that second set. And finally, on Nebraska's 5th set point, they got the job done.
The amazing thing is, even though this set is tied, Houston's actually outpassing Nebraska, and you would think if they were outpassing Nebraska, they would be running away 2-0, 3-0 sweep, because that's what Nebraska does.
Point stage with Nebraska, 7-3. Love Nebraska. Largest lead in the match for Nebraska, and Ann Bausch will serve for the hometown team. Playing all their matches this year at Baxter Arena, except for one in the tiny Grand Island next month. Jess Merzic gets one back, side out Houston.
Merzic talked about how much fun the team is having this year, how much team bonding they're doing. They had hibachi night in the backyard of one place. They're having wig parties in other spots.
Lauren Carlini of Love Madison said, Houston copied us with the wig party.
Yeah. We did it first. There were some great wigs. There's obviously all the colors. And
yes.
I saw one of the wigs that maybe was my favorite was a sumo wrestler wig that was like bald in the middle and it had some hair on the side.
I remember seeing that too. That was hilarious. Thompson flying through the air, getting another one back for Houston, 8-5 Nebraska.
And that's something we've seen a lot from opposites in this league. We've seen Madison Skinner hitting out of the pipe, middle of the court in the back row, and Jordan Thompson's been doing that a little bit here tonight as well.
I want to say it was Bia Correa who had the sumo wrestler rig. Kimberly Drevniak. This is some of the fun times that Houston had. They're at a Texans game. They had a suite there. Jess Merzick front and center, right by Alanko. They went to a street vibe dance class as a team. Others were there, age 18 to 90. Went all out and dressed up like hip-hop dancers. Went to Zoo Lights. They did Pilates with the pros at Skyline Volleyball Club, where kids could bring a parent or a grandparent. There it is. Good work by our crew. (10-6) Nebraska. Merzick an overpass, and it's put down by Bausch.
Bausch with 8 kills now. You got Anna Carolina with 6 kills, hitting .455. That 1-2 punch, they weren't there in the first match of the season for Nebraska. They're doing big things here tonight.
That they are. Dykema. It's Bausch. Big swing. Going for the far corner. And didn't get it.
Mishit that. Didn't get really good contact with the hand, and it just fluttered out. You can see her kind of shaking her hands out there at the end. It's like me playing tennis.
As if they betrayed her.
It's not me. It's the racket.
Bausch, 18 years as a pro. 9 league titles across the world. There she is, going off speed, and this time gets the kill.
And her team's so close to earning a medal in Rio, where they finished 4th place.
That's rough. 12-7 Nebraska, looking to go up 2-1. League One Volleyball is brought to you by Skims, the official loungewear, intimates, and sleepwear partner of Love. Third set action, and Houston trying to collect themselves after seeing 9 set points turned aside and losing the second set 37-35, the longest set in the 2-year history of this league. Nebraska leading 12-7 in the third, and Conda Herrera will serve for Love Nebraska. Last year, the league-wide average for a positive passing percentage was 44.6. Both teams slightly above that. Nebraska 45%, Houston 46% at this point. Covered up by Briseño and put away the second opportunity by Thompson. 12-8 Nebraska.
Here, right? The urgency, right now.
Right now, Amber. For Lee's serve. and goes long. 13-8 Nebraska. First contact after the serve is the pass. That's rated on a scale of 0 to 4. 4 being best. Basically means that the setter has 4 options. Left, middle, right, back row. If you serve a pass if you pass one that's a 4, 3, it's equivalent to 3 options. And anything that's rated a 3 or 4 is counted in the positive category. So Jordan Thompson serving right now. When she served on Thursday, Salt Lake was in system only one time in those 9 serves. So she was at 89%.
It's amazing this Nebraska team did so well in the season opener without so many big stars. Carolina is going to be a fan favorite this year. I know she already is. A lot of the world as you see another ace there.
Timeout taken by Houston. 15-9 Nebraska. Inspired by that second set victory where Carroll took charge, among others. And so again, Kevin, what does Houston have to do to turn things around here?
Passing's pretty good, right? They just haven't been able to turn the passing into clean kills. You can see Sanya Tomasevic, some of the frustration. This is a team that's got loaded offense across the board, but they just haven't put that pen to paper. They just haven't had it play out here tonight. They are actually getting out hit by this Nebraska team in a lot of key situations.
Micah Hancock split setting duties with Kaisa Olanko today. Susie Fritz's team looking for their first win here in their home opener. Back row attack by Thompson, blocked by Carroll.
And Nebraska last year did a really good job blocking. I think their team concepts and responsibilities, they do a really good job of knowing what's across the net. And if you look, maybe one of the biggest factors for Houston is Jordan Thompson's hitting percentage, not where it normally is.
Carroll unable to block that one. Larson in on the previous one. Swing by Hancock, showing her big left arm. Going after it on second contact.
It's amazing that she's been able to play with the sore neck, because so many times it's on that one where you look up at the ball, right? Because it's really playing through the whole range of motion, and it affects how you're able to do things because it's constantly putting you in pain.
You could see a little grimace there from her. Might have something to do with that. Maya Sands, and is a serving specialist. Played a little bit early on. Carroll gets rejected by Rischel. 16-11 Nebraska. Maya Sands, the rookie out of University of Missouri. Alternate on Team USA this past summer for the NORCECA U23 Pan Am Cup. And how about Larson?
You know, on the hometown match after they announce her retirement, you know she's going to give it her all. And throughout the last couple seasons, she's played for parts of matches, but as many points and as long as this match has, she's still going strong.
7 kills, 2 blocks, passing positive percentage of 62%.
And Micah Hancock getting much more aggressive than she has. Most of the times in this league, setters don't call their own number very often, right? They're very unselfish. They're making sure everyone else gets involved in the offense. But 2 of the last 3 kills from Hancock.
Not afraid at all. Dykem on the combo play, and it's Larson again. 8th kill.
8 kills, but I think if you broke that down, it's probably 2 on the two-hand sets, 3 on the slam dunks, and maybe 2 or 3 on the regular swings.
Kingdon Rischel gets blocked again. Kimberly Drevniak Conde Herrera on that block. Seven-point lead for Nebraska after coming from behind time and time again to win that second set.
A lot of blocks here tonight. The third set, we've already got 21 combined blocks.
11 of those for Love Nebraska. Houston out of system here. Kingdon Rischel just able to roll it over. Dykema. Larson again, that time a little wrist away. Got the fire in her eyes, Kevin. You really retiring after this year?
Right?
LA's coming. Home Olympics in 2028, baby.
Oh, say it ain't so. It is crazy, but right now, Micah Hancock is Houston's best offensive option.
Right. 3 kills this set. 2013. Hancock, the great two-time Olympic medalist. Service error for her there. 21-13 Nebraska. Her Olympic teammate Larson serves. Foley. Rafaela Foley. 21-14.
That rotation, you see another one of the new rules that's international now, where you're able to release on the approach of the server on the toss. So Jordan Thompson able to run from the left side to the right side along the net.
I like the rule. Second opportunity, Conde Herrera. Nebraska perfectly happy to trade side outs now, 22-14.
And Herrera has done a really good job of taking that baton from Fader, who did it early on, and has brought a spark to this Nebraska team in the third set.
One of 7 Olympians in this match, 2021 Olympian for Argentina. Good pass by Briseño. Swing by Merzick, kill for Jess Merzick. Probably too little too late for Houston in this set, 22-15. What do they got to do here in the final stages of this set to set themselves up to come back in the fourth?
I think it's just offense, right? And I think you're going to see Micah Hancock again in the fourth set. Win or lose on this third one. On the other side, I mean, Nebraska's serving tough. They're blocking well. That's been the biggest surprise, I think, for me here tonight, is you know Houston's got the size at the net, but here tonight, Nebraska's matched them evenly.
And again, Carroll, world-class middle blocker at 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Drevniak off the block and away, 23-16 Nebraska.
And that's just her 12th kill, right? You think about 25 in the first match.
Tied for the third most in league history. Hancock going to Merzick. And Drevniak couldn't dig that one. 23-17. Thompson will go back and serve. See who she targets here. It was Bausch, Drevniak. Back row attack, Kingdon Rischel, dug by Larson. Drevniak again. Overhand dig by Kingdon Rischel, her second of the point. Thompson going off the high hands. 23-18. One more point. Susie Fritz takes a timeout. We'll see.
It's interesting. Jordan Thompson rubbing the shoulder a little bit on the way back to serve.
There's Bausch. Going down the line and went wide. 23-19. Timeout now? Or not yet? We play on. 15 kills, 5% so far for JT. Had 17 kills in their loss to Salt Lake in 3 sets. Service air, and it's set point for Nebraska. Looking to win this one without incident after turning aside 9 set points for Houston in the second set in the 37-35 win. And the veteran Ann Bausch will be at the service line, trying to get him across the finish line. The 19th year pro. Hancock going to Igidi, going for the high hands, didn't get him. And Nebraska, the hometown team. Easy win in the third set, 25-19. Fourth set coming up from Omaha. The longest set in Love history. Set 2 in this one, 37-35 for Nebraska.
And I think the big storyline is you had a Houston team that had so many chances to put it away. And yet Nebraska kept fighting back. The pass from Lexi Rodriguez sets up Thader on the hit. The blocking game of Nebraska really impressive in this set as well. And in a lot of ways, you know, we're looking at this as Nebraska running away with it. But depending on the outcome of the second set, if it was the opposite, we would be talking very strongly about Houston's chances here tonight.
And Houston actually out-hitting Nebraska, 246-221. Nebraska leading blocks 12-10. Nebraska with 24 errors, Houston only 14. Thompson 15 kills, Drevniak a dozen. The two opposites shining for their respective teams.
And Drevniak, the surprise, hitting actually for the higher percentage over Jordan Thompson. Thompson takes so many swings for this team, 39 swings, hitting 179. If she can up that number to her normal 250s, 280s, 300s, I think Houston's got a big chance.
All right, Kevin, so you lose the second set by 2 points, 37-35. Nebraska wins the next set pretty easily. What do you say to your team to recover in this fourth set?
Yeah, I think that's the story, right? You lose the second set and you still kind of hold on to that. You have that hangover in the third set. Well, let's get back to playing Houston-type volleyball. And I think Sanja Tomasevic has been to the highest levels, and I think she'll tell that message.
You talked about Thompson being more vocal, and we've seen it. We saw it in the third set. We see it here in the fourth, exhorting her teammates.
The other thing that it's hard to discount is you look at this team in green, there's just so much experience and so many champions and so many Olympians and so many people who've played in big pressure situations, and they're doing it here tonight.
You know, we haven't even seen Jaylee Winters, who had 12 kills, hit 216 in their first match against Love Austin. Cross body for Foley. 2-1 Houston.
I mean, that confrontation, right? Foley on the one side, on the other side, Carroll. You got two at their own times were the best middles in the world.
Yes.
World championships. They've done that in Champions Leagues and in Italian leagues.
Foley in her 16th year as a pro. De Silva, 21st year as a pro. Started very young in Brazil, 34 years old now.
Right.
Bump set by Hancock out of system. Merzik with the swing. Kept alive nicely out of the pinball machine by Dykema and Rodriguez. And Igidi. And, of course, Larson in the back row, but Igidi puts it away anyway.
And the other move that Tomasevic is doing is she's bringing in number 2, Karin Palgutova from Slovakia. Hasn't played much, but is definitely in the mix as one of the starters on this team.
Drevniak. Pushed over by Merzik. Dykema goes outside to Bausch. Covered up by Larson. Bausch again. Creative way to get it done. And Bausch.
One of the things I think is so interesting about this league is sets are really taxing. You got to put a lot into it, big swings, big jumps, and you're seeing depth actually play out. On the college level, you really don't see depth playing a big part. You got your stars and you stick with them.
Merzik with a kill.
Yeah, here we are in the fourth set, right? And in a lot of ways, that second set was almost worth 2 sets. So you're turning this into a bit of a marathon.
Good pass by Bausch. Carroll. Dug by Hancock. Free ball coming. Laura Dykema has lots of options. And how about Bash flying out of the back row? And Bausch flying through the rafters here.
Dykema has done a really good job of keeping the offense balanced, keeping you guessing. I don't know if the big to Bausch was really high on the priority list there for Houston's defense. Love it.
Didn't have it on their bingo card. And Bausch hosts a great volleyball podcast in the Netherlands, Over the Top. Not Bausch, pardon me, Laura Dykema.
Briseño's starting to dial it in. It is still early enough here in 2026 for her to make a mark and make a run towards being in that mix for the 2028 scene. Was at the highest levels passing it collegiately for 2 different seasons.
Remarkable.
Everyone knows Lexi Rodriguez, but Lauren Briseño should be in that same conversation.
Mm-hmm. Again, Morgan Hintz there as well, and then you have the 2-time Olympian Justine Wong-Orantes. Second contact, Hancock got dug by Dykema. One setter reading the other well. There's Thompson down the line. Jordan Thompson, 6'5", Houston, trying to force a 5th.
Wow, the precision on that, right? Like a surgeon just turning it right down the line, threading the needle. You can see the timing there. How many times has Micah Hancock set Jordan Thompson throughout their careers?
Good pass by Rodriguez. Off speed from Larson. Covered up by Larson or Bausch. Larson again finds a seam in the block. Again, back and forth we go, as we did in that second set. I would imagine this is cathartic for Jordan Larson after the emotion of announcing her retirement on Friday.
Yeah.
Off the block of Herrera and out of bounds. Just to get back on the court and get back to volleyball.
Where you can actually, probably the place in the world where she might feel most at home.
Yes, without doubt. Drevniak. Maddie Kingdon-Rischel with a block for Love Houston. 8-6. Houston leading this fourth set. There's Karin Palgatova, the 10th-year pro out of Bratislava, Slovakia. Dykema going to Herrera. How about the depth for Nebraska at middle blocker? You talked about Thader playing so well, and now Herrera in the third and fourth sets. Had surgery on her knee, 6 to 8 months of rehab on that right leg. It's Merzik. Merzik going for the hands, didn't get it.
Yeah, Susie Fritz had nothing but good things to say about Herrera, as well as Alexis Hart, who's been doing a lot of rehab as well.
Lexi Hart supposed to play for Love Nebraska last year, but tore her ACL, MCL, PCL, the whole deal. A year of rehab. She is with them this year. Thompson trying to cover it up herself. Another block for Nebraska.
There's two things. It's the fact that there's so many blocks, but also that they're so straight down. They're not being covered right now. Terminal blocks.
Ana Catalina da Silva. Herrera's serve into the net. Bausch and da Silva, 19 years, 21 years. That's 40 years combined. Dykema, 20th year pro. That's 60 years. Larson, 18 years. That's 78 years. Drevniak, 12 years. That takes you to 90 years. Who am I missing? Oh, Herrera, 9 years. That's 99 years of experience.
Amazing.
For Nebraska. Bausch covers it up herself.
Oh,
how about that? Second contact for Carroll.
Oh, the emotion shows you everything. That is like the dream play for the middle blocker. Do I want to run the quick to the outside or side set?
I got to imagine she'd make a pretty good beach player.
That is not normally the position indoor, the middle blocker position that translates the best to the beach, right? You got to pass, you got to set. Although, you know who did it well? Rebecca Alec did it for Nebraska.
Lexi Rodriguez was her beach partner with the Cornhuskers.
You're probably right, though. I don't know if there's any Brazilian that's bad at beach volleyball.
Alanko back in to serve and set for Houston. We're even at 10. Overhand dig by Kingdon-Rischel. Lednicki, big swing. Hard angle attack. She got dug by Drevniak. Lednicki on the block. What a diving dig by Rodriguez. Off speed coming from Bausch. Bump set by Briseño. Swing by Merzik. Got dug by Larson. Bausch again. What a bullet. Dug by Briseño. Larson. Diving dig effort. That was Merzik, pardon me. Diving dig effort by Larson.
Tomasevic talks so much about her libero, Briseño, how good she was in the practice gym, how consistent the passing. And she says it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I'll tell you, it is right now, January 11th. Mark your calendars. Okay. That's when she brought her game.
Lauren Briseño out of Baylor. There's Bausch. And we're back even at 11. Number 11 will go back and serve.
Breathing heavy. It's been a long match. Taking a lot of swings, says Bausch.
Bausch with a dig. Igidi putting it down on the overdig. 12-11 Houston. Houston needs a win to force a fifth on the road here in Omaha. Nebraska up 2-1. Let's check out our Moments of Confidence, presented to you by Skims. Jordan Larson, 2 days after announcing that this will be her final year, coming up big, 12 kills.
Done a lot of different things. Did it with the passing, the serving. We've seen the blocking from Larson as well. So much experience, so much clutchness in big situations. She's done big things.
And again, the fire in her eyes is far from out. A couple of blocks as well. Passing at a really high percentage. Positive pass percentage, 59%. There's a block for Palgatova. 13-11 Houston. Karin Palgatova out of St. John's University. Played professionally in France, Switzerland, her native Slovakia. Won club titles in France and Slovakia. Merzik serve, short serve. Bausch there. Larson. Rodriguez keeps it alive along with Larson. Options here for Olanko. Going to Palgatova, dug by Drevniak. Drevniak swing, going high hands, and got him. Kimberly Drevniak. How in the world did she dig that?
What a cover. Lexi Rodriguez laying it out. Took everything from the goats.
That was an incredible point in so many ways, and Palgatova put everything into it. Somehow Drevniak dug it.
That's not a touch, though, right? They got to be challenging that play. That looked like that hit was 10 feet away from the nearest blocker, but here we are.
We play on. Houston 13, Nebraska 12. Carroll serve. Going after Briseño. It was Igidi. Igidi with the kill. And Houston up 14-12. Now Igidi will serve. Pushed over by Conde Herrera.
I don't think I've ever seen that play. A lot of times you get the paintbrush up high. That was like the Argentinian silver platter.
Was it intentional?
I don't know. Amazing.
Side out Nebraska. Dykem is serve. Lednicki with the swing. Dug off the soft block by Rodriguez. Drevniak dug off the soft block by Olanko. Lednicki again. Hard angle attack. Logan Lednicki.
Said she's loved being in the Houston gym because the level of expectations is so high. You don't have to worry about anyone's professionalism. Everyone's bringing their focus, bringing the effort, the energy.
And she had a high 10 from Jordan Thompson, and she said, what better opposite in the entire world to learn from?
Amen.
She's out, Thompson in. And that one goes wide. 15-14 Houston.
Yeah, a lot of up-and-coming opposites for Team USA. Madison Skinner in that mix as well. But Nikki, what she brings, she's got the lefty, right, which is so prototypical for that opposite right side position.
You know Madison Skinner wants to be on that LA Olympic team with her sister Avery. 16-14 Houston. This has been some high-level stuff today, Kevin. Really entertaining volleyball.
Yeah, and in most high-level matches, the offense wins out over the defense. But tonight we've seen the blocking, we've seen the defensive play really having the advantage.
A lot of points scored in transition. Bump set over her head. That set went over the net. Kept alive. Drevniak pushing it. Dug by Briseño. Kept alive by Merzik. Free ball coming for Dykema. Outside. Bausch. Covered up by Rodriguez. Bausch again. Merzik rolls it over. Rodriguez bump set. Teeing up Drevniak. Going for the hands and got him. 16-15 Houston.
Such a good set in trans from Lexi Rodriguez. Put a little bit of a beach spin, a little topspin, rolled it up to the right front to get it closer to the net.
Well done. Conda Herrera to serve for Love, Nebraska. Pagatova's pass at the 10-foot line, and Merzik takes care of things. 17-15 Houston. Again, Nebraska fans got to see her in their nightmares after what she did to them 2 years ago. Nebraska continuing close calls at the NCAA level since the last time they won the title in 2017. Their fifth. And there's Carroll.
She's got to be one of the most physically fit players in the league, right? It's from the very beginning, big jumps, big celebrations all over the court. Got to get a Fitbit on her.
9 kills, 5 blocks. Merzik. Thompson there to cover things up. Igidi. Overdig. Hancock going to Igidi again.
Oh.
Kept alive on the pinball machine by Drevniak and Larson. Wow. And that time, Thompson gets it done. 18-16 side out Houston.
Nebraska up 2-1, but in some ways it feels like this set is a must-win for Nebraska. We talked about all the experience. With experience comes some mileage, right? And you get the feeling if this gets to the fifth set, Houston's got a lot of gas left in the tank.
There's Bausch. She's got some hops, isn't she? Hancock with that tight to the net. Excellent job to cover things up herself. But Briseño can't believe it. She sent that ball over the net and out of bounds.
And this very next play, hugely important because I want to see how does Briseño bounce back from that play because that was an unforced error.
Had a smile on her face on the other side of the net.
I like this substitute, putting Jaylee Winters now as Susie Fritz in for Bausch. In the back row. Love to see the serve go at Briseño. That's the rookie.
Winters had a great match the first time. First time she's playing in this one. Larson couldn't put it down. Good work by Briseño there, so she's answered it well. Houston going up 19-17.
Igidi just so strong, right? Gets to the outside and then jumps and hangs, and then on the way down with the swat. Yeah, really nice play.
Defying gravity. I'd say Briseño's put it in her past, huh?
We'll see.
Larson, hard angle attack, dug by Palgatova. Bumps at Hancock. Palgatova's swing. And Larson.
And a couple of tired-looking swings here towards the end of this fourth set. And the interesting thing is, for Fritz, she had Jaylee Winters as the sub, but chose to put her in for Bausch instead of Jordan Larson.
Short serve by Merzick. Back set. Carroll going down the line. Hands to her face. Can't believe it. She went wide. 21-17 Houston. Timeout Nebraska. Houston looking to force a fifth on a very entertaining day here at Baxter Arena in Omaha. Let's have a look at our Chase scouting report and revisit it. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, I think for Houston, their passing has been the best of the year, and they're blocking, both teams blocking well. For Nebraska, they've been taking care of the details. I'd give both of those teams A's. The difference so far tonight has been the bottom, and in the sets that teams have won, they've done a better job out of system.
Both coaches talked about that, about the ability to play in transition. Love Houston on serve receive has been in system 43.2% of the time, slightly less than league average last year. Love Nebraska 48.2% of the time, a couple of percentage points higher than league average last year. (21-17) Houston. So out of the timeout, you're Susie Fritz in the huddle. What are you telling your team? They got to be exhausted.
Next play. Catch your breath here. We got a fight ahead of ourselves.
Merzick, short serve again. Larson high in the air.
Wow.
Diving dig by Briseño. Thompson off the block and out of bounds. 22-17 Houston. How about Lauren Briseño?
Yeah, she's going to have a fabulous career. You can see it. Great platform, knows her angles. And then that swing from Jordan Thompson, maybe her best of the night. Really tough situation. Ball coming from way in the front left. Making it work.
Thompson match high 20 kills. Larson off the bump set from Rodriguez. Gets the side out from Nebraska. And did they ever need it? 22-18.
You talked about the eyes. I think that's a real good gauge for the intensity level. Jordan Larson always intense, but as those eyes get bigger, watch out.
Watch out indeed. Talking about intense. Gabby Blossom on to set for Love Nebraska. Hancock teeing up Thompson again. Lunging play. There's Larson. Palgatova sent back in her face by Herrera. Thompson again. Going for the hands. Didn't get him. 22-19 Houston. Challenging a touch at the net. Challenge issued by Love Houston.
I don't know if there's anyone who does the dub sub better than Susie Fritz and Nebraska. They really embraced the 6-2 and having two setters last year throughout the season. This year now you can't run that for the whole match. So what you find is a lot of time is these critical mid to late matches where you got players coming off the bench in big situations. I didn't see a touch on that.
Both teams using a pair of setters in this one. And the challenge unsuccessful.
Remy Perrot, the assistant coach for this Nebraska team from France.
Good friends with two-time Olympic silver medalist libero Nicole Davis. Helped him get a start in the USA. Adriana Fitzmaurice in for Nebraska. Houston 2 points away from forcing a fifth. Fitzmaurice, three-time NCAA champion out of Stanford. Igidi serve. Blossom. Tee it up, Herrera. 23-20.
Fun to watch. Just a blaze of energy. Bounces off the floor.
Dykema in to serve and set for Nebraska. If you're Laura Dykema, how much heat do you put on this? How much pressure do you try to put on?
You got to go for it. You got to go for it.
Backs at the Thompson, well off the net. Easily dug by Jaylee Winters. Bumps at Dykema. Here comes Drevniak. Back in the face of Winters. Jordan Larson off speed. Dug by Pagotova. Pagotova pushing it back. Kept alive. Free ball coming, though, for Micah Hancock. Lots of options here. She goes to Thompson. Somehow dug by Dykema. Rodriguez there to keep it alive. Another free ball for Micah Hancock. This time it's Pagotova who is terminal. And set point coming for Houston.
Come off the bench and done some good things, has Pagotova.
Sonia Tomasevic, smile on her face in the background, and why not? Her team 1 point away from forcing a fifth with one of the best servers in the world, Micah Hancock, at the service line, and she has a service error. Jordan Larson will serve, and again, down by 3, got to have the next 3 points, got to go for it. It's Thompson. Pagotova.
Wow.
And she ends it. We're going 5 here at Baxter Arena. Houston able to recover after falling 37-35 and then losing 25-19 in the third. They win the fourth. We're headed to set number 5. In League One Volleyball, these teams were created with an idea that they would be on equal footing. And last year, 78% of matches win at least 4 sets. Tom Hogan of Love told FIB reps that was a fact. And at first they didn't believe him. He had to prove it. And here we're going 5 today.
And I think one of the biggest question marks is personnel in the fifth set. And you're seeing some new players. You see Jasmine White, number 6 here, coming in for Houston.
How about that?
Palgutova did some great things in the fourth set for Tomasevic. And then across the net, I think the biggest question mark for Susie Fritz is to Jordan or not to Jordan?
We were talking about it between sets. She's on the court right now. So it's Larson and not Winters to start the set.
And I think Bausch is the right call. She got a little rest between.
Yep.
I think the question mark, though, for Larson is you know what you're going to get from her in the back row, but the offense hasn't been quite as sharp in the fourth set.
I think 2 days after her announcing her retirement, fifth set at home opener, you said it. You can't take this away from her.
Oh, you're right.
Exhausted, though, the 39-year-old might be. Drevniak. Dug by Hancock. The overdig, though. It's put down by Conde Herrera. Everything's so important in this fifth set, which only goes to 15.
Every night I got a different favorite team. You know, I loved watching that Salt Lake team. The Madison team was fun to watch, but this Nebraska team and all the veterans, I can relate.
Palgutova. Dug by Rodriguez. Bausch. Going hard angle attack and going wide. We're even at 1.
Oh, that was the perfect situation. Really good approach. Perfect tempo. Missed it by just a bit.
Bausch, Drevniak, Dykema. Rodriguez, the only young player, more inexperienced player on the floor for Nebraska. Amber Igidi doing some good work there to keep that one alive. Swing by Merzick.
Wow.
Crossbody dug by Larson. Bausch kept alive by Rodriguez and by Dykema. Incredible work by Nebraska to keep that ball alive. Igidi dug by Larson. Here comes Bausch. Wow, what a rolling dig by Palgutova. Merzick dug by Bausch again. Take a deep breath, everybody. It's Drevniak. Love Houston on the block from Merzick.
You know, this is such a tricky time to be in a match because your mind is so excited and you're engaged, but sometimes the body doesn't give quite as much as you'd expect it to give, right? You're not jumping quite as high. You're not swinging as well.
What a point and what a time. We're even at 2.
Foot fault? Wow.
Wow.
The toss too low, too far in front.
Conde Herrera to serve for Love, Nebraska. Bausch. And Bausch going down the line. 3-2 Nebraska.
Coach's daughter, father was a Dutch player. He played in the 1988 Olympic Games. He's actually the head coach of a pro team in the Netherlands for a long time.
Daughter comes by her talent honestly. Conde Herrera now to serve. Good pass by Briseño. Back set. Thompson off speed. Back in her face. Covers it up. Back set Hancock. Swing Merzick. Rejected. Carroll at it again.
Pure magic.
Anna
She is
Catalina
by
de
far
Silva.
the shortest player in that front row, and yet leading the whole match in blocks.
6 foot maybe. 4-2 Nebraska. Hancock going to Merzick, and she tools the block. That time Drevniak and Carroll unable to get it done.
Jasmine White, the Canadian via Michigan State. Last year was in the French League, Paris St. Cloud.
11th year pro. She's in the front row. Bausch pushing it over. Igidi couldn't dig it. Let's throw.
Jordan Thompson wanted another one of those water polo calls. That one not quite as sticky as the earlier one that got called.
Again, I've seen worse than the earlier one that got called. Gabby Blossom.
Early dub sub this time. Typically, Susie Fritz uses it late in the game. I like this. Bring it out a little bit earlier.
Thompson finding a seam. Down the 5-6 seam. 5-4 Nebraska.
And then right back at it, Sonia Tomasevich bringing her own version of the dub sub. This one I don't know if I like as much. Right?
Lednicki and Alonko in, and Alonko will serve. And why not?
Big pressure situation for a couple of players who don't quite have as much experience in this.
Especially Lednicki. And the quick, and Carroll takes care of business. 6-4 Nebraska.
And there's a give and a take. And what you're getting out of the situation is you're getting 3 front row attackers for Houston. But what you're giving is 2 gold medalist Olympians.
Right. And it's Merzik who gets Houston back within 1. Another short serve for Merzik. They called it well. And it results in an ace. They read it well, but didn't have great execution. And we're back even at 6.
Starting to see some of that fatigue, right? And sometimes the brain might trigger it, but a little bit late to get to that short serve.
We basically played a full 5 sets already and then some with a 37-35 second set. There's Larson. Larson again. Gabby Blossom keeping it alive. Palgatova. Covered up by Briseño. Back row attack by Merzik. Jess Merzik puts Houston on top.
And putting Houston on her back here in the 5th set is taking some really big swings.
Nebraska was ahead by 2. And now they're behind by 1. Jaylee Winters back in.
And once again, it's in for Bausch and not Jordan Thompson. You can't take Jordan Thompson.
Jordan Larson.
Jordan Larson?
Yeah. Another short serve by Merzik. Gabby Blossom set. Adriana Fitzmaurice swing well off the net. Dug by Briseño. Off speed Palgatova. Blossom. Teeing up Fitzmaurice. Adriana Fitzmaurice. What a time for her first kill of the match. Even at 7.
There's a special connection between the 2 players that come in on the dub sub. There's this unspoken word like, hey, I'm going to take care of you when we get out there.
I got your back.
I got your back.
Ana Catalina de Silva serve, a short serve. Lednicki went for the throw.
And that was a combined error. That set from Alonko a little bit off, and then Lednicki not doing a great job of dealing with the bad play.
8-7 Nebraska. This next point is huge. At this stage, a set that goes to 15 to go up by 2. Carroll targeting Merzik on the serve. It was a great pass. Palgatova. Karin Palgatova. Getting Houston back even at 8.
Just beat the block on the way up. Quick swing.
Jasmine White, first serve of the match. And Herrera takes care of business. Nebraska back in front 9-8.
She has been so terminal in these situations.
Didn't play the first 2 sets. We haven't seen Emily Thader since that second set. Thader played well. Laura Dykema back in on the dub sub along with Kimberly Drevniak. They'll play the remainder of the set for Love Nebraska. Back row attack by Merzik. And she was on the line. Yes.
Wow. A couple of unforced errors in this fifth set.
Yes.
Really the difference between being up by 2 or down by 2.
Very much unlike her. And I was about to ask you when Houston took their timeout, and they take it right now. 10-8 Nebraska after a rare fault by Jess Merzick. And the hometown team 5 points away from a win. And with all those years combined, we talked about 6 players on the court at one time, had a combined 99 years of experience. How does it take its toll in a match that goes this long?
You know, a lot of times, those kind of athletes know how to pace themselves and know how to put themselves in a position to finish the race, have that extra kick at the end. Tomasevic keeping true with the dub sub. There was a chance there where she could have put Hancock back in with Jordan Thompson, but she's going to let it play.
You'd think Houston would have to have this. Good pass by Merzick. Alanko on a combo play. Palgatova kept alive by Drevniak. Bump set by Winters. Swing by Larson. Kill by Jordan Larson. What a moment.
I'm sitting here beating myself up because why would I ever even put the thought out there that anyone would take out the GOAT from a situation like this?
The governor with a big kill. It's 11-8. If Houston needed it before, they really need it now. Back set, Lednicki, and it's blocked. Larson in on the block as well, along with Conde Herrera. 12-8 Nebraska.
And here comes Hancock, and here comes Thompson.
Is it too late?
No, I was just thinking to myself, this is a dangerous situation. In one rotation, if they get out of this, Jordan Thompson's back in the front row.
Dykema looking to keep the pressure on. Not a good pass that time by Merzick. Palgatova well off the net. And still goes high hands and gets a critical side out for Love Houston.
The difficulty level of that swing is off the charts. Way off the net.
No
Finds
kidding.
that top half inch of the blocker's hands. That is amazing.
Micah Hancock serve. Good pass by Rodriguez. Herrera with a kill, and Nebraska 2 points away. What a great pass by Lexi Rodriguez.
She's been so steady, so solid.
And the set by Dykema. Larson heaving a big sigh. Oh, what it would be for her to serve this team across the finish line. That pass to the 10-meter line. Jordan Thompson, and Rodriguez couldn't take it. Houston hanging on 13-10. They get the side out.
And it's been some of the short serves. It's been some of the schemes where Houston's been able to take advantage of this Nebraska team.
Dykema going to Bausch. The overdig. Bausch was there. Drevniak!
Oh,
One of the hands that didn't get him.
That was a touch for sure.
They're challenging.
Interesting. Bausch.
I thought I heard
it. Yeah, you could hear it for sure. But Bausch wanted to challenge maybe the net. We'll take a look. That ball skips right over the top. You see Igidi shaking her hands.
This would get Nebraska to match point. Successful challenge, Nebraska at match point. Match point coming. Larson's in the back row. 2 days after she's retired, do you find a way to have her get the match-winning kill?
I don't think that's your number one priority.
Come on now. Merzick. It's Bausch, hard angle attack, and Bausch wins it for Nebraska. The hometown team wins it in 5 for Jordan Larson 2 days after she announces this is her final year.
Masterful job in a lot of ways. The players playing their roles. I think the coaches, we saw maybe the most moves and the most strategic decisions and changes in personnel we've seen in a long time. Fun match.
That it was. Volleyball in the United States at its highest level. And from what we saw today, Nebraska was going to be a very good team.
And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Sanja Tomasevic changes the tactics along the ways, because I think taking Micah Hancock and Jordan Thompson off the court in some really critical key situations in the 5th set, I don't know if that paid off here tonight.
Susie Fritz's team gets their first win. They win their home opener in 5 sets, a set 2 that went 37-35. And tonight at 7:30 on ESPN2, it'll be Kevin Barnett and Salima Rockwell. Austin at Atlanta. And then coming up on Friday in Nebraska, they hit the road again to take on Love Madison. And then on Sunday, Nebraska back home to take on Atlanta. Well, Kevin, this was a blast working this weekend with you, and this particular match was a ton of fun.
Ton of fun with you. You can see the joy that these players are having together. And we're just getting going. Second match of the season for these athletes. Long road ahead. Going to be a fun season.
That it was. So we have Love Nebraska with the win. For Kevin Wong and our entire crew, I'm Rich Burke. That's it from here in Omaha. League One Volleyball. For youth, for pro, for life.